Codename, Kids Next Door. This American animated series, the brainchild of the ingenious Mr. Warburton, hit the Cartoon Network scene in December 2002 and kept us hooked until January 2008. It's safe to say that this show truly deserved its spot on the channel and remains one of the most memorable shows from the early days of Cartoon Network. In this video, we will cover the entire show from beginning to end. However, it is important to set some context. In the world of K&D, Earth begins as a kid paradise, complete with tree houses and no rules. However, boredom leads to the creation of adults by kid scientists, who in turn banish the adults due to conflicts. The adults establish their civilization, introducing toys that force kids to work for money. A war ensues, with kids attacking the adults' primary resource, coffee. Despite the children's initial success, the adults ultimately triumph with greater numbers and advanced weaponry. The defeated kids escape to the moon, establishing the K&D moon base. While some kids long for Earth, adults attempt reconciliation by creating families. Yet, the adults continue to inflict injustices on kids, introducing rainbow monkeys and imposing rules like toothbrushing. The story concludes with the invention of school, where children's memories are erased. Now, in the present setting of the show, the main characters are number 1, Nigel Uno, number 2, Hoagie P. Gilligan Jr., number 3, Kooky Sanban, number 4, Wallaby Beetles, and number 5, Abigail Lincoln. These kids, called Kids Next Door, live in a massive treehouse-like headquarters and use a variety of gadgets and vehicles to combat adult tyranny and protect the rights of kids. One of the recurring themes in the series is the conflict between kids and adults. The show exaggerates the divide between the two groups, depicting adults as a mysterious and often sinister force working against the interests of children. The K&D's missions involve battling both real and imaginary threats, and the series combines humor with moments of genuine action and suspense. Alright now, let's get to the show. In the episode Operation Caked, we are introduced to the delightful children from down the lane, who are the arch-nemesis of K&D. In a chaotic birthday party hosted by the delightful children, the K&D crash the celebration to reclaim their share of the birthday cake. The delightful children refuse to surrender and instead subject the K&D to bizarre and harmful party games, orchestrated by the transforming girl, Laura Limpin. To avoid her wrath, the K&D comply until Nigel suggests opening a mysterious present labeled Kids Next Door Battle Stations. Activating a colossal machine, the K&D separate the mansion, with the cake on their side. Laura, enraged, transforms and pulls the halves back together. In the ensuing chaos, the cake is tossed into the air, landing on Laura. Unhappy with the coconut flavor, Laura transforms again, this time preparing to attack the delightful children. The K&D win this battle, but the war is far from over. In Operation Ice Cream, adults in ice cream trucks refuse to serve ice cream to kids, prompting K&D to investigate. Taking over an ice cream truck, they pursue other trucks to uncover the mystery. Pursued by more ice cream trucks with unconventional weapons, K&D overcomes them, retrieve the password Frosty, and head to the factory. However, it was a trap set by delightful children all along. They spawn a giant ice cream monster attack, but number 3's clever use of a heater saves the day. K&D leaves the factory with ice cream, and other kids finally get to enjoy their treats. In Operation Cannon, number 1 embarks on a solo mission to investigate an unusual theme park called Happy Land, where adults are making kids throw up. Left behind, Numbu 2, 3, 4, and 5 faces a series of villains, including Count Spankulo, the Proper Patrol, and the delightful children. Frustration mounts as number 1 is not present to lead, and number 4, Wallaby, takes charge. However, his leadership style becomes increasingly authoritarian, pushing the team to build a clam cannon to fend off the delightful children. With his strict no-break policy, the team's efforts result in a poorly constructed cannon. When the delightful children attack, the cannon backfires, and upon number 1's return, he embraces the clam cannon idea. Under his guidance, the team resumes construction of the clam cannon. Then in No Pa Wu, we learn that the treehouse is powered by several hamsters. When Numbu 3 causes a blackout by letting the hamsters take a vacation, the delightful children attract the attention of Grandma Stuff'em to attack the K&D. She invades the treehouse, unleashing a living food army that engulfs Number 1, 3, 4, and 5, rendering them immobile due to obesity. Number 2, however, embraces his big appetite, becoming the kids next door's unexpected savior by eating the living food and sacrificing his own mobility. As the hamsters return from vacation, they devour the remaining food army, leading to the defeat of Grandma Stuffum and her cohorts, who are launched out of the treehouse. In Operation Office, it's Take Your Daughter to Work Day, but Wallaby, lacking a sister, is begrudgingly taken to his father's job. However, Wallaby's day takes an unexpected turn when he discovers Mr. Boss's sinister plan to send all the girls, including Number 3, to Pluto to increase work efficiency. Attempting to escape the chaos, Wallaby stumbles upon Kooky, who is determined to save the others. Together, they thwart the plan by messing with the control computers, causing the rocket to crash into Mr. Boss's car. In the end, Wallaby's dad reveals there will be a Bring Your Son to Work Day next week, much to Wallaby's dismay. In Operation Lice, Abigail Lincoln, also known as Number 5, embarks on a mission to steal tortilla chips from the delightful children from down the lane. However, her seemingly successful heist takes an unexpected turn when she discovers that the Delightfuls have replaced her hat with a lice-infested copy. As the lice wreak havoc in the kids next door treehouse, particularly devastating Number 3's beloved doll collection, the K&D formulate a plan to combat the hair-hungry pests using their newfound knowledge of the lice's vulnerability to nacho cheese. Ultimately, they succeed in flooding the treehouse with nacho cheese, saving the day and turning the tables on the louse invasion. In Operation Point, Number 1 leads the team on a mission to thwart what he believes to be a teenager-to-adult factory at the mysterious Point on a mountain. The team uses a condiment cannon to shoot mustard at the supposed factory, only to discover that it's a roller skating rink hosting kids' nights. Unaware of their mistake, they fail to stop the cannon, flooding the mountain with mustard and causing chaos. The K&D, initially caught, inadvertently create a roller skating trend as a way to appease those affected by the mustard incident. In the next episode, Operation Cable TV, the team encounters Mr. B, a small man, upset about being called a baby due to his small stature. The K&D soon realize that Mr. B has a sinister plan involving a device that can turn everyone into babies. The team cleverly uses baby talk to distract Mr. B and lure him into his own machine. Now, on top of looking like a baby, Mr. B also acts like one. In a surprising twist, Mr. B's helpers are revealed to be his parents, who decide to raise him to be a better person. The K&D, in their not-so-bright moment, decide to throw such a powerful device away, only for the delightful children to get their hands on it. I'm sure it won't come into play later. Right, in Operation Chad, the K&D faces a mysterious threat as operatives worldwide are stupefied by Mega Mom, who fires rays that render them immobile. Legendary operative Number 274 seeks help from Sector Phi, revealing that Mega Mom has been relentlessly pursuing him. The team confronts Mega Mom in a battle but faces difficulties against her flying abilities. Number 274, also known as Chad, leads the retreat, and they discover that Mega Mom is part of a villainous duo with Destructo Dad. This duo is Chad's own parents, who have been targeting K&D operatives, intending to stupefy everyone except Chad to make him the new Number 1. When he expresses his frustration, the parents surrender, promising to reverse the stupefaction, and the day is saved. In Operation Rainbows, we learn that Number 3 has a wild obsession with rainbow monkeys. So when the Rainbow Monkey store opens, Number 3 becomes the target of Mr. Mogul and his assistant Simon. The duo convinces Number 3 to lead them to Rainbow Monkey Island, where they plan to capture real rainbow monkeys and sell them. Unaware of their plan, she leads them to the tropical island, where she is captured alongside several monkeys. However, she cleverly uses the blades of a rainbow monkey toy to cut through the cage bars and free herself and the monkeys. Taking control of the plane, she defeats the villains and returns to the treehouse with a rainbow monkey plane, surprising her fellow operatives. And then in the season finale, Operation Grow Up, Sector 5 returns from the candy store to face an attack by the delightful children from down the lane. After a victorious battle led by Number 1, it is revealed that Father, the mastermind villain of the show, is displeased with the delightful children's constant failures. In response, he grants them access to the really incredibly destructive machine to destroy the kids next door. After a fierce battle, the delightful children succeed in capturing Number 1, subjecting him to the age-changing ray and transforming him into an adult using a device they obtained in a previous episode. Now unable to remain in the KND, Number 1 leaves and Sector V falls into disarray. 2 weeks later, the team, demotivated and using a cardboard box as a temporary base, decides to confront the delightful children for revenge. In a series of chaotic events, Number 1, now an ice cream truck driver, regains control of the age-changing device. The team defeats Father, reverses Number 1's age, and rebuilds their treehouse, reaffirming their unity as a team and determination to face challenges together. Season 2, Operation Support. Number 1 and Number 2 embark on a mission to find Number 5, believing she has been kidnapped. However, they discover that she is actually sick and in bed. Dr. Lincoln, Number 5's father, bakes cookies for her, and the two operatives decide to stay and guard her from potential enemies. The situation takes a humorous turn when Cree Lincoln, Number 5's teenage sister, enters the scene. Number 1 and Number 2, curious about bras, misinterpret them as battle-ready armor and attempt to use them against the perceived threat. This leads to a comical confrontation with Cree, who demands they remove the bras, not realizing they are not actual weapons. In the end, Number 5 reveals the true nature of bras, resolving the confusion. However, a twist occurs when Cree, disguised as a teen ninja, steals information from Number 5's head, hinting at a larger plot involving Father and the delightful children from down the lane. However, Number 5 was one step ahead and had placed a doll in her place. She then reports back to Number 1, setting the stage for future developments. In the next episode, Operation Tapioca, we are introduced to a new villain group, first seen hijacking a truck of tapioca pudding and being defeated by the kids next door. However, when Number 2 hurls the truck towards their own base, the treehouse is flooded with pudding. Later, when he recounts the tale to her granny Lydia, she refuses to believe him. Later, the three villains return, but are revealed to be the senior citizen squad who had used anti-aging cream. The squad includes Sheldon and Maurice, along with their leader, who is none other than Lydia. Their ultimate goal is to steal the pudding scattered across the treehouse, which is not an issue for the KND since they were already planning on removing it. That went better than they had anticipated. In Operation Kiss, Number 2 accidentally transforms into a teenager while attempting to enhance the strength of the treehouse hamsters. Mistaken for an intruder, he is thrown out of the treehouse by his fellow operatives and encounters Number 5's sister Cree Lincoln, who unknowingly falls for him. Taking advantage of his teenage appearance, Number 2 goes on a date with Cree but learns about her plans to attack Sector 5 when their defense grid is down. During the attack, Number 2 intervenes and thwarts her schemes. He reverts to his true self, surprising Cree, who is subsequently taken into custody by Moonbase operatives. However, she calls Father in the end, telling him that their plan is in motion. My spidey senses are tingling. In Operation Fugitive, Number 206 is being transported to the Moonbase for decommissioning, but he escapes when the ship crashes. Sector V, along with Number 86, is tasked with recapturing him. However, Number 86's strict and condescending leadership leads to a series of mishaps, including mistaking the delightful children's mansion for the target and a chaotic encounter involving toenails. The episode takes a humorous turn when it is revealed that Number 206 was actually Number 362, the leader of the entire KND agency, undercover to uncover the delightful children's evil plans. Number 86, who had been scolding and boasting throughout the mission, receives a stern rebuke from Number 362 for her misguided actions. In Operation Space, Sector 5 embarks on a mission to the Moonbase using the Star Rex spaceship. However, Number 3 brings her little sister Mushi along, causing annoyance among her team members. The team encounters a distressed prisoner transport ship with a damaged fuel drive, and while searching for replacement parts on a prison barge, they face aliens that turn out to be fellow operatives Numbers 92 and 93. Meanwhile, Cree, having escaped captivity, infiltrates the STARWAR-ECK, revealing her plan to detach the Moonbase and send it into the sun. Number 5 confronts her sister, and after a heartfelt moment with Mushi, she outsmarts Cree and ejects her into space, thus saving the Moonbase. In the Season 2 finale, Operation End, Number 1 faces the threat of decommissioning orchestrated by Number 86 and her decommissioning squad. After a chase and evading capture, Number 1 discovers a conspiracy within the Kids Next Door organization, led by none other than Number 274, Chad Dixon. Number 274 confesses to manipulating the system, turning operatives into teenagers, and using the decommissioning squad to cover up his 13th birthday party. You see, by becoming a teenager, he loses his role in the K&D squad, which is why he foils a plan to erase the memories of everyone who received his birthday party card from his parents. The revelation leads to a showdown, resulting in Number 274's own decommissioning. In a desperate attempt, he sends the moon base on a collision course with the sun, and Sector 5, along with Number 86, collaborates to save the moon base. Meanwhile, Cree Lincoln, seeking revenge, teams up with Chad Dixon in an attempt to carry out her destructive plan. The episode concludes with recommissioning, celebrations on the moon, and Number 1 enlisting Tommy into the Kids Next Door training program, emphasizing the triumph of teamwork and justice over deception and betrayal. Season 3. Season 3 opens with Operation Future, where Number 4 is mistakenly sent to St. Rita's preparatory school, discovering the director's sinister plan to turn all boys into girls. Escaping with a girlified left hand, he seeks help from Sector V, only to find they have also been girlified. 75 years into the future, Number 4, now an elderly operative, collaborates with the Boys Next Door, a group defending boys from girls. Sally Sanban, Number 3's granddaughter, aids them in reversing the effects of the girlifying technology. However, Madame Margaret, the director, anticipates their rebellion and girlifies the Boys Next Door. With Sally's help, Number 4 confronts Margaret in the present, erases her dystopian future, and prevents her from altering the timeline. In Operation Leader, after a successful mission at an ice cream parlor, Number 1 is tasked with taking his girlfriend Lizzie to a football game. However, Lizzie, eager to give Nigel a break, takes charge of the mission specs from Number 65.3, assuming the leadership role and leading Sector 5 to a beauty parlor for preparation. Unbeknownst to them, the junior high football team is actually practicing anti-Kids Next Door maneuvers for an invasion plan against the K&D moon base, led by none other than Chad Dixon, aka Number 274, who has fully embraced his role as a teenager. Nigel discovers his plot to blow up the moon base with an explosive foot bomb, and with Lizzie's help, orchestrates a counterattack during a football game in a rocket-powered stadium. The K&G manages to thwart Chad's plan, recover the explosive foot bomb, and escape the crashing stadium. Lizzie, realizing the challenges of leadership, apologizes to Nigel, who reassures her, and they return to their usual dynamic. In Operation Fountain, one of Gallagher Elementary's students, Leona, is kidnapped by the Delightful Children and taken to a hidden school below theirs. The K&D, summoned on a mission, embark on a rescue operation. They find Leona, aged due to the DCFDTL's interference, who needs the K&D's help to reach the fountain. Eventually, they navigate various traps and challenges that lead them to the discovery of a fountain of youth, alongside the Delightfuls. A battle ensues, resulting in their transformation into babies. However, Leona, after being restored to her younger self, betrays the K&D, turning them into babies as well, and destroys the fountain. Despite the temporary setback, the K&D save Leona from falling, showing compassion even after her betrayal. In the end, Leona finds another rather disgusting fountain of youth and uses it to once again turn back into a kid. Then, in Operation Training, Kids Next Door, Number 60 is instructing 3 new recruits, Tommy, Sonia, and Lee, at the Arctic training base. It's nice to know that Tommy found his place. He's still very annoying though. When an alarm is triggered, the operatives leave to investigate, leaving only the cadets behind. The base is then infiltrated by ice cream men under Father's command. Mistaking the invasion for a simulation, the cadets find themselves captured by Father, who aims to steal the code module granting access to the K&D database. Sonia's intense fear of the dark transforms into a furious, powerful persona, allowing the cadets to escape. They formulate a plan to drive out the adults, using a defective robot, a fake Coda module, and escape pods to expel Father and his minions. The base is left in disarray, and when the other operatives return, the cadets manage to cover up the invasion as a simulation, leaving them contemplating the potential for future challenges. Honestly, I'm really surprised at Tommy's character development. The guy practically outsmarted the main antagonist of the show. In Operation Graduates, a K&D graduation ceremony is disrupted when Father launches a devastating attack on the moon base using an animalization ray. Sector 5, including new graduates Tommy, Sonia, and Lee, infiltrates the Delightful Mansion to counter Father's sinister plan. The animalization ray turns K&D operatives into animals, leaving only Tommy unaffected. Ingeniously, Tommy thwarts father by removing his genetic material from the code module, rendering himself a non-operative. He then snags some of father's DNA and uses it to make him a KND operative, which turns him into an animal too. He then breaks the device, and all the operatives turn into humans once again. Despite successfully saving his comrades and defeating father, Tommy faces the consequence of being unable to rejoin the KND due to a policy that doesn't let quitters rejoin. Determined, he adopts the dope-ass alias the Tommy and vows to combat adult tyranny independently, leaving Sector V amused by his bold yet humorous departure. Tommy just went from being the dumbest kid around to being a badass hero, just in the span of 2 episodes. I am so proud of this kid. In Operation President, 4th grade, President Jimmy McGarfield aims to negotiate with the school board for shorter days and mandatory pizza lunches. Number 1 and Sector 5 are assigned as his security detail, leading to unexpected challenges. The delightful children plot against Jimmy, deploying a robotic duplicate to sabotage his mission. A fierce battle ensues on School Bus 1, with Number 1 and Jimmy facing the robotic imposter. Despite setbacks, clever tactics, and a showdown at a garbage dump, the real Jimmy reaches City Hall safely. However, when father emerges, he influences Jimmy to announce unfavorable changes to school policies. This unforeseen development sets the stage for Sector V's next mission, saving the school from father's influence. Season 4. In Operation Rabbit, Numbers 2 and 5 embark on a quest to recover a missing pet rabbit that has plunged the 1st grade hallway into chaos. The 1st grade president reveals that the disappearance of the rabbit has led to a series of unfortunate events, such as the destruction of their classroom and the deterioration of their supplies. Undeterred, Numbers 2 and 5 set out to find the rabbit and restore order. The journey takes them through the whimsical and treacherous 1st grade hallway, encountering peculiar challenges and quirky characters along the way. The dynamic duo eventually reaches a chocolate volcano, where Heinrich von Marzipan, with his mischievous plans, threatens to lower the rabbit into choco lava. A playful and action-packed confrontation ensues, involving lollipop machine guns, daring acrobatics, and a suspenseful climax at the edge of the chocolate volcano. With the timely intervention of a determined 1st grader named Jessica, the day is saved, and the missing rabbit's return triggers the restoration of the 1st grade world. In Operation Macaroni, Sector 5 engages in a mall rendezvous with adults to exchange prisoners. To their chagrin, the returned operative is the worst operative ever, Number 13, who initially seems to possess crucial information about an impending macaroni and cheese dinner. However, it turns out the real revelation is the adults' plan to raid the Museum of Macaroni Art for their dinner supplies. Initially dismissive, Sector V soon recognizes the seriousness of the situation and heads to the museum. A chaotic showdown ensues, with the Ice Cream Men and Mr. Boss attempting to plunder macaroni art while Sector 5 intervenes. The climax features a comedic clash between Number 3 and Mr. Boss over the Rainbow Monkey Lisa painting. Ultimately, Number 13 unintentionally destroys the artwork, leading to a mix of laughter and frustration among the operatives. Despite the mission's setbacks, Number 1 finds solace in the absence of Number 13, and the episode concludes with the villains left empty-handed as the Toiletnator revels in the chaos. In Operation Pool, Sector 5 discovers a portal to an upside-down world through Number 4's pool, inhabited by the destructively nefarious kids, DNK. The evil counterparts, led by negative Number 1, plan to conquer the positive world. As the 2 worlds collide, chaos ensues with twists, battles, and unexpected alliances. Number 4 faces off against his negative self, while Wally, having inadvertently entered the upside-down world, challenges his cowardly counterpart, ultimately inspiring a rebellion among the DNK members. The DNK's attempt to infiltrate the positive world fails, and negative Number 4 is sent to the broccoli mines. The KND returned home, leaving the DNK to rebuild their world, while the pool became a sandpit to avoid further complications. It's all for the right reasons. Season 5. Season 5 opens with Operation Naughty. Sector 5 is planning to exchange gifts, but none of them have gotten anything for Number 3. However, their festive plans take a turn when the Alpha Strike team accuses Sector 5 of stealing Santa's reindeer, leading to a showdown. As the teams clash, it's revealed that the delightful children from down the lane, disguised as Sector 5, are the real culprits. They use Santa's reindeer system to manipulate Christmas gifts worldwide, turning everything into coal. Sector V, along with the Alpha Strike team, races against time to stop the delightful children and save Christmas. Amidst the chaos, Number 3's temporary corruption by the reindeer system adds a twist. But with Santa's intervention and a heartwarming gift from Number 4, the holiday spirit is restored, ending the episode on a joyful note with Sector Phi and the Alpha Strike team reconciling. In Operation Elections, Number 1 runs for the position of 4th grade president, aiming to bring positive change to the school after the removal of the previous president, James Nixon McGarfield. However, the delightful children from down the lane manipulate the election results, leading to chaos and Number 1 being sentenced to life in detention. The delightful children's tyrannical rule prompts a school-wide conflict between the 4th and 5th graders, with the delightful children plotting to take over the entire school. Number 1 orchestrates a daring escape from detention, exposing the delightful children's sinister plan to ally with teenagers and enslave the students. The episode climaxes in an epic battle between the united students of Gallagher Elementary and Hendry Middle School, with Number 1 ultimately defeating Chad Dixon and saving the day. Despite the confusion surrounding the election results, the school celebrates Number 1 as a hero, setting the stage for future adventures. The end credits hint at a new 4th grade president, Egbert Eggleston, gearing up for his campaign, leaving us viewers intrigued about the upcoming developments in the series. In Operation Caked, the kids next door embark on a mission to revive Numbu 19th century, seeking his knowledge of an ancient and incredibly delicious cake recipe. This recipe, rumored to surpass even the renowned cake of the delightful children's predecessors, the annoyingly cute triplets who lived upon the hill, becomes the focal point of the K&D's quest. However, their plan takes an unexpected turn when they discover that the cake is not just a delightful treat, but a massive space station in outer space. To their surprise, it is revealed that the delightful children's true intention is not only to enjoy the cake, but also to utilize its power to destroy vast ice cream storage facilities. The mastermind behind this plot is none other than Father, who aims to eliminate all the ice cream in the universe. However, K&D managed to destroy the cake and stop it from removing all ice cream from the world. Honestly, that would be a sad world. In Operation Recruit, an eccentric child named Bobby, obsessed with joining the kids next door, creates a video pleading his case. After numerous failed attempts, he receives a mysterious message on his computer screen, leading him to an abandoned K&D treehouse, where he encounters Numbus 1, 2, and 4. Presented with a choice between 2 lollipops, Bobby selects the blue one, exposing him to the K&D's secret mission. The team tasks him with infiltrating Mr. Wink and Mr. Phibbs' house and the crazy old cat lady's residence to collect adult DNA. Despite facing challenges and getting scratched up, Bobby manages to acquire the required saliva. Ultimately, Bobby is fed up with their missions and reveals his true identity as one of the interesting twins from beneath the mountain, who wanted to pose as one of them and destroy their base. Turns out, the K&D already knew about this and sent him on a fake mission, ending this episode with a humorous conclusion. In Operation Hot Stuff, Numbu 3 disobeys her dad's strict instructions about the thermostat, causing her house to turn into an active volcano on the brink of eruption. The rest of Sector 5 embarks on a mission to save her and prevent the catastrophic consequences. As Numbu 1 faces off against a demonic version of Numbu 3, the team must use unconventional weapons like ice cream to cool her down. Eventually, they succeed in restoring the house to its original state and returning Numbu 3 to her normal, innocent self. However, the treehouse is left encased in a giant ice cube due to the extreme cooling measures. In Operation IT, the overwhelmed Supreme Leader Numbu 362 announces her decision to step down, triggering a game of tag to determine the new leader. The energetic pursuit spans across various locations, showcasing K&D operatives engaging in playful and competitive tagging. Meanwhile, Father seizes the opportunity to manipulate the situation, playing the game and eventually gaining the upper hand. He then orders to disrupt the K&D by turning their tree houses into broccoli through a broccoli virus. Number 1 and Number 362 race against time to thwart Father's scheme, leading to a climactic showdown on the moon base. Number 362's attempts to force-feed broccoli to Father result in him tagging Number 362 and resolving his whole conflict once and for all. Even though the movie Operation ZERO came out during Season 6, it is considered as a Season 5 finale, so I will be putting it here. We learn about the story of a dystopian world, controlled by an evil old man known as Grandfather. The Grandfather has filled the world with child-labored factories and is in general a bad person. 2 brothers, while escaping from this hell, stumble upon the 2x4 tech and Book of K&D, which tells them about the previous KND operatives, leading to a rebellion against their tyrannical father. The older brother becomes Number 0, the greatest KND operative, gathers a team of operatives and fights against grandfather. Fast forward to the present, Number 1, who believes this tale to be true, aims to locate the Book of KND himself. Meanwhile, father revives grandfather, and let's just say it was not a good move. Grandfather starts turning children into senior city zombies, and then does the same to adults too, since they were once children as well. Meanwhile, Sector 5 races against time to save themselves from transformation, but fails, and only their leader is left unturned. Number 1 then uses a device to locate Number 0 to stop the grandfather, only to be led back to his own house. Using the reinstating device, he restores his father's memories, making him remember that he was the legendary Number 0. He then takes him to a miserable father, who is then revealed to be Number 1's uncle. And to top it all off, grandfather is Number 1's actual grandfather. What a bizarre family indeed. And even that is not all. Number 0 reveals that the delightful children are actually the long-lost heroes of Sector Z, brainwashed into their villainous states. He uses the same device to turn them back into their real selves, and now, armed with this new squad, they arrive at the moonbase. In a climactic battle, grandfather's defeat alongside Number 0's memory being erased restores the world to normal, with Number 1 declining a promotion for the sake of unity. As celebrations unfold, Number 1 attempts to recommission Number 0, but a poignant message reveals his father's decision to destroy the recommissioning module for a greater mission, being a good father. The movie concludes with Number 1 as the keeper of the Book of KND, symbolizing a new era for the kids next door. A month later, the existence of Number 0 becomes public knowledge, and the KND, led by Number 1, embraces a renewed purpose, ending with the declaration, "We are kids next door." Season 6. In Operation White House, Nigel Uno wakes up to find himself as President Uno in a dystopian reality where the KND is at war with kids. He discovers he has a son named Shirley, who resembles a delightful, and is informed that Lizzie is his wife. Nigel, now an adult, is coerced into signing the Bill of No Rights for Kids. Panicking, he escapes, seeking refuge in Sector V's treehouse. Upon reaching the treehouse, he encounters Shirley, now Number 1600, who doesn't believe his story. Wallaby and the army surround the treehouse, leading to Nigel's capture. He meets Abigail, who believes he's the cause of her imprisonment. With the help of Number 5000, Nigel learns he can return home through the Washington Monument. At the monument, Hoagie offers to send him back if Nigel signs the bill, but he refuses, asserting his loyalty to the KND. In a moment of realization, Nigel understands the alternate reality is a test. He undergoes a powerful transformation, destroying the opposition. Waking up in the Moonbase hospital, Nigel reflects on the experience, sensing a larger purpose behind the surreal events. Two shadowy figures are then seen discussing his performance in this dreamlike scenario, hinting at something mysterious in the play. In Operation Bridge, Sector 5 and Numbu 20,000 join forces in the demolition of a mall bridge, which would cut off parents from a store selling unfashionable clothes. As they try to clear the mall, Numbu 5 discovers a group of poorly dressed kids living in the clothes racks. Despite warnings, the kids refuse to leave, leading to a comical standoff. Number 1, 2, and 4 go on a rescue mission, but end up laughing at the poorly dressed kids. To get them to leave, Number 5 suggests a clothes swap, leading to a series of funny events. In a twist of events, laughter triggers an accidental bridge detonation. Luckily, Sector V survives, but the poorly dressed kids escape in the Squid Squad submarine, leaving Number 20,000 in tears and Sector V teased for their horrible fashion sense by mallgoers. Operation Crime kicks off with Number 3 struggling to finish her coloring map homework, but her focus is disrupted by Number 4's suggestion to finish it during lunch, a proposition contested by Number 2, who's keen on the lunch special. A surprise arrest of Number 4 by hall monitors for a future wedging incident raises Number 2's suspicions, leading him to play detective before getting arrested himself. Urging Number 3 to investigate, he advises seeking Joe Beluga for information. Despite her initial distraction with map coloring, she consults Joe, learning about the delightful children from down the lane's takeover of the safety patrol and their preemptive arrests. In detention, she shares her findings with Number 2, who points her to an abandoned art room for the right crayons. There, she learns that a kid named Oliver has been making false future prophecies, which are being used to arrest kids even before they commit a crime. However, it is revealed that it was all a ruse set by Oliver to be first in line for the lunch. only to find that his favorite dish, the pizza bagel, was on the next week's menu. In Operation Party, Father leaves the delightful children in charge of their mansion as he takes a break, prompting the delightful children to call Cree Lincoln for a supposed plan against the kids next door. Meanwhile, Sector 5 examines stolen items from Cree's room, including deodorant mistaken for unmeltable ice cream. The kids next door, help me. Hotline rings, revealing the delightful children's plea for help to salvage a wild party at their mansion. Sector 5, skeptical but obliged by the code to help, devises a plan involving mashed potato-filled sprinklers. Number 1 stays with the delightful children as numbers 2 and 5 handle the sprinklers and numbers 3 and 4 prepare potatoes. Along the way, number 5 suspects her sister Cree is up to no good and investigates, encountering Maurice. However, chaos ensues as Father returns to a trashed mansion, blaming Sector 5 for the chaos as mashed potatoes explode, leaving the delightful children to pin the blame on the KND. In Operation Planet, Numbu 74.2239 briefs Numbu 3 and Numbu 4 on a special mission out of the solar system, setting the stage for a historic trip. Number 2 encourages Number 4 to reveal a secret crush to Number 3 during the journey. However, as the rocket takes off, G-forces knock them out. Number 4 wakes up next to a lake, discovering Number 3 missing. He encounters living rainbow monkey scientists and faces a bizarre trial for being a boy, with Number 3 inadvertently providing unhelpful testimony. They escape with the rainbow monkeys in pursuit, only to realize they never left the amusement park and the supposed rainbow monkeys malfunction. As they exit, a teenager mistakes Number 4 for a girl. Finally, as they walk off, Number 4 attempts to confess his feelings to Number 3, but ends up pointing out a popcorn kernel stuck in her teeth, leaving them both blushing and Number 3 slightly embarrassed, questioning why Number 4 always has to be the one to reveal things. Then, in Operation Moon, the kids next door discover that NASA plans to colonize the moon, prompting them to orchestrate a fake moon landing to divert attention from their moon base. However, Numbu 4 remains uninformed, leading to comedic situations. As the Beatles family arrives on the supposed moon set, the KND tries to expedite their stay, while Number 4 grumbles about his moon life. Unaware of the fake scenario, Number 4 unintentionally leads his family to the edge of the set, triggering a crisis. In a desperate move, Number 1 allows the KND to attack the Beatles by posing as aliens to expedite their departure. The plan backfires, causing the adults to launch missiles at the real moon. Kooky devises a clever plan, involving a dart and a balloon, ultimately redirecting the missiles toward a fake moon in Hollywood. The episode concludes with a humorous twist as Abigail quips, "It is now time for the show's finale, Operation Interviewes. The episode kicks off with a classic CAKED mission from the very first episode as Sector 5 attempts to thwart the delightful children from down the lane's plan to keep their birthday cake. In a twist, Number 1 tries to place a tracking device on them, but is caught, leading to a chaotic chase involving a cruise ship on a truck and a makeshift bridge. After a failed pursuit, Number 362 replaces Sector V with Sector W for future cake retrieval missions, claiming that Number 1 and his team are getting too old. Crestfallen, Sector V returns to their treehouse, reminiscing about past cake-related mishaps. The plot takes an unexpected turn when the delightful children and father invade the KND treehouse to eat the cake, revealing that Number 74.239 holds the real cake hostage. He proposes a scavenger hunt, teasing the cake as the prize, setting off a competition among various villains and KND operatives. The scavenger hunt unfolds globally, with teams acquiring items of different point values. Despite Sector V's struggles, they persevere, and the narrative explores the camaraderie among the operatives. Eventually, Numbu 74.239 reveals that the cake was a mere distraction. The cake-shaped spaceship is unveiled, and he informs Number 1 that he's been chosen for the Galactic KND, a higher level of organization. However, to join, he will have to leave Earth forever. The farewell scenes are emotionally charged as Number 1 bids goodbye to his teammates and leaves Abby in charge. The episode ends with a touching reunion in the present, as Number 1, thought to be lost in space, contacts Number 5 through a phone. He reveals his return and hints at a meeting on the moon base. The ending credits provide a nostalgic journey through the series, showcasing various episodes. The final message, "Stay young," resonates as Sector Phi and other characters watch the sunset together, symbolizing the enduring spirit of the kids next door. Additionally, the episode hints at romantic developments, with number 2 and number 5, along with number 3 and number 4, getting married, ending this series in a sweet and delightful manner. So that will be it from us. If you enjoyed the video, then leave us a like and subscribe to our channel for similar content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next one.